Welcome to Prunership Diaries. Today we have with us Maria Abraham, who is a sidepreneur carrying forward her mother's legacy, hand block printed fabrics. And we're going to have an amazing conversation today as we learn about her venture. Maria, welcome to my show. So glad to talk to someone who's juggling a job and a venture as well. And I'm looking forward to learning from you as to how you do it all. So, welcome again.
Thank you, Shweta. As I mentioned, I'm actually honored and humbled to be your guest. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast.
Pleasure is all mine, and I'm so excited to get started.
Okay.
So my first question to
Okay.
you is, could you tell us about how your mother got started with hand block printing, and where did she learn it from? So what made her to start this?
Mom, as I can remember, she
Mm-hmm.
was, just to give you a context on around my mom, she actually was a
Right.
self-taught tailor. And she would actually
Ah.
tailor all our clothes. We were three girls, we were three daughters, and
Oh
she would actually tailor our clothes. And so she was very familiar with all our measurements, especially mine.
wow.
So me being the eldest, so
Right.
actually, mom actually used to tailor all our clothes, like I mentioned, and she had a keen or a distinctive eye for color, details, and textiles. So if you
Mm-hmm.
say coming up with quite a few several social occasions that we have or functions that we have, she would always think, what different can I tailor for her children or for my children, and then she would go scouting for fabrics, for different color fabrics, and she would say what thread to use and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That is a bit of context. So, moving on to when she would, you remember, I mean, I'm just trying to bring back,
Mm-hmm.
in her times, her mom
Right.
and her aunts used to wear, in our community, they used to wear this outfit called the chata and munda. It's like a white color short top, and I mean, it's a short
Yes.
waist length kind of a top, if you would say, like in the present day generation, and
Right.
a kind of a mundu, white mundu, starched mundu, top and mundu. And they
Right.
would have a very elegant, a kind of kauni, you say, a kind of a dupatta kind of, which is
Ah,
delicately embroidered, and it would be
right.
pinned up or pleated as a brooch. So this was what her mom used to wear, or
Mm,
her aunts used to wear
right.
in those days. So when mom used to go to Chennai to ask gifts, what she'd one day, so instead of so she's always thinking of innovating, what next, what different could she give as gifts or tailor or things like that. So she one time she I remember she thought, okay, why not a block printed, a bordering, a light color bordering, very subtle color bordering to be given on the edges of the of that dupatta or kamni, as we call it. So she did
Yes.
very, very pretty floral kind of bordering, very gentle colors on the bordering of that dupatta, and that in fact was a great hit back in our hometown in Kottayam, and that was
Mm,
received very well. She got a lot of compliments, and so it started from there. So block printing, people started recognizing, or admiring the charm of block prints, and soon she started off into few saris, then it came into
mm,
fabrics, then kurtas, then people started encouraging her friends, and her own community started encouraging her. Then why don't you do block print fabric for us? So that's how it got started. And for me as
that's
well. So this moved on. So I was working during the 90s. So I was working in the IT firm, and
right.
I started
Right.
sporting this as a professional wear or corporate professional wear, because it's on white, and you can do
Ah,
block print checks and geometric prints and very subtle prints. You could figure out your own way of wearing, and it's cotton, and it looked very elegant, neat, and professional. So that's when my
right.
colleagues started admiring. the block prints, and they said, will your mom make some for us too? And that's
Wow.
how to Trivandrum. So I invited my mom and I said, let's do a few pieces for few colleagues who love cotton, who would love cotton and who would love block prints, who like to innovate and dress something differently. So we had this exhibitions for a few of my colleagues, for a few of my good friends in my
Right.
own home. So
Ah,
we had auntie chit chatting with a few of my colleagues, and we had a great time because it was all over coffee and chai pe
I
charche and
know.
exhibition over charche, and sales just happened. And
Wow.
that's just to give you a background and context, Shweta. That's how mom
Wow.
was into this. She got started,
Wow.
and it's actually encouragement from her own community of from your
Yes.
friends and family that gets you going, right? That is the kick for starting this,
Absolutely.
and yeah,
Absolutely.
that's how mom started and carried over that.
All
Yeah.
right. So lovely that your mother was interested in a whole lot of things and she got
Yeah,
started. And I so resonate with the point that you made is, the community, the friends, the families. When someone gets started with something, I think it's very nice when other people around you start supporting and take it up. I mean, in whatever way. I mean, it could be
absolutely,
like word of mouth talking about, oh, you know what, hey,
absolutely,
my friend has started this business, so why don't you go check it
yes,
out? It's not like, you have to buy the
absolutely,
product or anything, nothing like that. It's just go visit. If you
exactly.
like it, buy it.
Yeah, buy it. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I also say. Come and see what we have for you. I mean, that's the excitement. So you don't need to buy it. Just have a look, and if you like it,
Yes,
go ahead.
I know.
That's exactly.
Super. Super. That's amazing.
Okay.
So yes, so you
Okay.
have told us that how your mother got started with it and how you were having exhibitions for your colleagues, friends, and as the sales were happening. And I know in
Okay.
our prior conversation you had mentioned that you were doing this, but then you took a break. I mean, your mother
Yeah.
took a break, or you just stopped doing it for some time, and somehow
Mm-hmm.
later on it's you were the one who who wanted to get back to it and started it off. So I wanted to know what happened in
Absolutely.
this and how were you interested, taking it forward. How did that happen?
Okay. Yes, Shweta, that's so good. Yes, in between, I took a sabbatical from work, and yes, mom actually kind of phased out with her block printing.
Mm-hmm.
So and this was latent. I mean, this was, I think, lying low. Block printing was just lying low. None of us picked it up or anything. And suddenly, I
Right.
mean, it's always there at the back of your mind, right? So you are always thinking, being that I do love creating fabrics. I mean, I would always, even though I stopped corporate work or I took a sabbatical, but
Mm-hmm.
we had our social functions, and for each social function,
Right.
I would design or I would style something for my daughter, because she would, in there, for all these for these close family members, she would be a flower girl or something like that. And
Wow.
my sari, I would actually think of designing something different each time. It's just like you want to do something different, make it interesting. So
Right.
designing was always there, or styling was always there, part of me. Yeah, even though block printing didn't formally restart. So
Right.
then, as you're innovating, as you're thinking, what next, what new, what next, even when you're sleeping, what next to do, what's the next new trend to present or something like. And I
Right.
thought, oh my god, why not hunt and revive this block printing all over again. So
Right.
by then, we didn't know where this person who was doing this block printing. So it's all, I would say, it's all cosmic interventions, or
Yes.
there is a divine hand in it, I would say,
Right.
for that thought to just come into the mind like this. And
Mm-hmm.
then I scouted. I didn't know where mom's people who were mom's team who
Right.
was actually helping her out. Then as chance would have had it, you know we managed to get the contact number, and
Ah.
we restarted just like that. This
Oh
was
wow.
back in 2016, I would say. I restarted,
Ah.
and again in a small way. started with a few fabrics, then called my close friends in Trivandrum for get together over dips and mocktails, and we started. So just letting announcing that we
Yes.
just started, here we come, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that was how it was just fun, and started off as a fun cool thing where you have it's at home itself, it's at the home itself.
All
So
right.
so it was good fun, it was chill, relaxing while lounging over the fabrics.
Yes.
So that was,
Wow.
and then everybody gets to open up the fabrics, put it on themselves, and
Right.
and my daughter was also there helping around, and so that's how we pretty much got started. So everybody, like, having a drink, lounging, having fun, talking, and then it's a day well
Yes.
spent, and it's you're also showcasing your new block
Absolutely.
print art or whatever. So it was good fun. So that's how I restarted, if you could say.
I know.
So
I
that
mean,
was
that's
this was
wonderful.
back into the absolutely,
Right.
absolutely, Shweta.
Amazing
Yeah,
that you
absolutely.
you restarted it because yes, your
Yeah.
mother was doing it, and somehow, I mean, of course, you
Mm.
stopped and she stopped,
Yeah,
and I mean, it's always good that you
correct.
got it back, you revived it, and yes, you wanted to say something.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, I wanted to say that the framework was already there, and
Yeah,
she had already set the trend, and it was
correct.
nothing for me to reinvent or start all over again. I just had to pick it up and, just drive it. That's all. So, as I always say, nothing is an accident. Everything is
Right.
actually set by design by the master planner. So the divine master planner. So I would say it that way. Uh,
Oh yes.
okay.
Oh yes,
Yes. Tell me,
absolutely. Yeah.
Shweta.
All right.
Yeah,
So my
that's
next
how.
question, just probing a bit into it. So with respect to hand
Yeah.
block printing, so could you tell us like how
Mm.
was the market then? Because your mother was doing it in the 90s, right? And then now
Yes.
you
Yes.
restarted it
Absolutely.
back in 2016. So how was the
Mm.
market then? How was it being received by people out then? And how is it now? The market now, like how has it changed? If you could tell us about it.
Okay. Yeah, so I tell my mom that she was lucky then, because it was a time when block printing was not so much into the industry. It was there. I wouldn't say it was not there.
Right.
It has been there for a very long time, and it's a core of India's traditional textile art, right? Block printing.
Right.
And but when mom started, we didn't have this online sales and online business. So
Correct.
she would it was easier for her. She was creating these fabrics, and she was actually having these informing or marketing across with her own community, and she would get these new prints, new colors incorporated, and it was going very well in the community, because this was a kind of a new thing back in Kerala. Though it was
Right.
there, block printing was there, somebody at somebody whom they could go, whom the customers from Kerala or her friends and community could reach out to.
Right.
So that was one of the advantages she had then. Now you have a plethora
Hmm.
of online. If you say now that you have your online businesses, your online community,
Right.
and there are a lot more players in the market, and the reach
Hmm.
is a little more than before. So you can
Right.
just anybody, a block printing is all over now. You can just hop on online, Google on block printing fabrics or
Right.
kurtas. It's there. And you would say another thing is now, screen printing is actually, they churn out in volumes. So
Ah.
sometimes there is a challenge of screen printing being posing off as handprints. So we see
Okay.
that also coming quite frequently now. There are several fabrics which are actually screen printed but going in the name of block printing
Oh.
fabrics.
Okay.
So that the big screen printing has the advantage of volumes. Block printing is a little more labor intensive. Like, say, you can't
Right.
just it's hand done, right? It's hand block printed.
Correct.
It's time
Correct.
consuming, and it's done by hand, and it takes time. But the
Mm,
beauty is always
right.
there in hand block printing. So there is a charm to it, and there is an intensity and depth of the beauty is also there. So
Super.
that's how it was back then and now, Shweta. If
Right.
you were to ask me,
Yes, yes. I mean, thank you for, giving us, the things which were happening then and now as to how the market is open and there are other things also coming in. Just to probe
yeah,
a bit more about, you were talking about
yeah, go ahead.
the fact that, it's handmade and it's labor intensive. So could you tell us
Correct.
about the team that you have? I mean, are they like specific to hand block printing, and how do they go about it? So if you could just tell us, like, what is the setup like with respect to when you're putting out fabrics for people to see and choose and everything. So what goes behind,
Yeah.
like how many artisans do you have, like, who are like into this niche, and so do you have a place where you get all of this done? So if you could tell us more about it.
Sure, I would love to talk about that. That's a really interesting question, Shweta. So, though we were planning on having a small unit, we were wondering
Right.
at that time where to have this, and
Mm-hmm.
how to go about it and things like that.
Right.
That's when we thought, in our home in Kulashagaram, that is Kanyakumari district, south
Ah,
of
okay.
South India. So,
Mm-hmm.
we thought there was an old go down there which was filled with junk. Okay, so we thought we'll
Ah,
revive that and clear off the junk a bit, and
right.
restart. So that was a Herculean task of clearing in that entire junk of which was being collected over many years. You have all the wood
Right.
and everything, and we had to just clear that up. Okay, all that cleared. Now we had to
Uh-huh.
clean that place. It was a really, the inside was in a dilapidated condition. So we had to just give
Right.
a good clean wash and a fresh
Right.
coat of basic paint or something like
Paint.
that. And
Yes.
the electric work had to be done. All that was done, going smoothly, up and about. It was going very well, and my artisan had also come and seen the place, and he kind of liked it, and he
Right.
said he gave his thoughts over that. And
Mm-hmm.
so then we were just about getting completed. We completed the outer shell, the building, and everything was ready. Next, we had to have this long printing table, right?
Right.
Just when we were about to set that up, the pandemic started, and
Ah.
so
Yes.
we stalled the
Yes.
work for some time. We stalled the
Uh-huh.
work was the for some time. Till then, I was just freelancing, from 2016 to 2017 or 18. I was just freelancing. Whenever I get to
Right.
travel, I just pick up a few fabrics, give to my artisan, and tell him to, I'll give the colors, and he will do it in his
Right.
unit or in his own place or in his own home. They have these little
Right.
tables in their own home, right? So they would
Mm-hmm.
do it there, he would do it there, and then he would send across. Of course, I would give the layout and the color scheming and all that. So it was all
Right.
via WhatsApp. So see here, once again, I'll just bring back to your earlier question. Mom had to do it
Yeah.
physically. I mean, she had to meet this person face to face, while
Right.
now technology has helped us people to do everything on WhatsApp. So I would draw, put the
Yes.
colors, and then send him pictures, and it made things easy for me and for him as well. He didn't have to travel all the way. I
Mm.
would do the initial work of giving all the prints and things like that. So freelancing was happening till about 2018. So this idea of clearing the go down and all that happened in 2019. We
Ah,
slowly, I mean,
okay.
we were taking it slow, nothing, we were not rushing through anything.
Right.
At that point in time, we didn't
Yes.
know pandemic would just strike in, right? And so
I
yes,
know.
so coming back to where this pandemic just came in and struck us, and we were all cooped up in our house. So then
Ah,
we thought, okay, let it just we'll just wait and watch. And then
right.
there was a point when the cases started dipping, right? And
Ah,
slowly, this is the first phase, and the first
correct.
first phase of the first wave of the pandemic. So that's when
Right.
we thought, we will just start completing the work from where we stopped. So I just called up this artisan and he has to lay the table, and then I pulled in my carpenter. So then he came over to Kulshegram and we got the table up and about running. This was in 2020, around this time, say September, October. Yeah. So this was last year. So we got the table up and about, and we
Uh-huh.
completed it, and we started production in a small way. That was the most exciting time. So there
Right.
was just because I'm starting small, I have only one artisan, and he
Yeah.
does the work for me. and
Uh-huh.
and for my team, yes.
Right.
And he we had a few blocks from a few carved blocks from my mother's time. So that was
Uh-huh.
reused, reinvented in several ways now. And
Yes.
yes, like I mentioned, my family, immediate family, is my biggest team and my biggest strength. My son
Right.
Kora and my son Dia, and my husband Abraham, of course. My
Wow.
immediate anchors. I would like to say that they are my understanding sufferers, as I call them. They're with me all through. And of course, my mom, who stays at the background, and I call
Right.
her all the time for advices, for her snippets of wisdom and things like that, because she's an
Right.
ustad. She actually knows, how to, Maria, do this, or add in this, and you can try this out and things like that. And of course,
Right.
my sisters, my friends, family, and the extended family, everybody is important in this journey of my block printing business. And most of all, I need to mention
Absolutely.
my good friend, Reshmi. She was the one who was instrumental, who wouldn't actually make me sit alone or sit quietly. Even during that sabbatical period, she would say, hey, she would give me these encouraging nudges, why don't you, or she would send
Right.
me good recipe books from great chefs and all that, because cooking and baking is also another, a passion of mine, or not
Ah.
passion, or perhaps a hobby that I like to do.
Right.
I like to keep myself busy. So she would send me good cook recipe books and say, try out this, and then why don't you start this? Why don't you restart your
Yeah.
block printing once again? Why don't you think about this? Why don't you think about that? Start an Instagram page and things like that. Instagram page. I was into Instagram very recently. Very
Great. Yeah.
surprising for people who are on their own business journey, right? They start long back, but I started very recently, thanks to this friend of mine, Reshmi, who would say, start this. So I have told her, Reshmi, I don't think you never make me sit quietly in peace. You always want to see me active, is it? so
Right.
that's how that's the team. That's a team. So
Super.
everybody is there in this journey supporting you. That's the beauty of
Yes.
it,
Yes.
Shweta. So we entrepreneurs actually need this network of community and friends who keeps
True.
keeping you nudging and patting you at the back and say, hey, go on, and things like that. And interestingly, around that time, my cousin from Kottayam started a small unit, or she was
Right.
curating stuff. And then it was simultaneously, I told you, right? I mean, I look back, nothing is an accident, everything is by design, from the master planner, from the
True.
divine master planner. So she started around that time. So I used her to send, I mean, she used to take stuff from me as a distributor in Kottayam.
Yeah.
So that's how I channeled one bit there, to Kottayam, and like that. And in small ways, we started growing, and so happy to share that with you, Shweta.
Oh,
So
yes.
it's a big network, or it's a big community. So friends. And Sarah, Sarah of Maharashtra. She was
Oh,
also
yes.
another. She was, a big time. She actually came up with this interesting, block printing assignment for me, and I hadn't
Ah.
even heard of that. She told me about this.
Right.
Did you, if you can see my page on Instagram, you would see this column
Uh-huh.
print. She told me, hey, she called me one
Ah,
day, hey, Maria,
all
can you
right.
do this column print for me? I said, what's that now? I'll have to check whether we have a block of that sort. And and I,
Right.
I pulled out all my blogs and I saw, oh yeah, there was something like what you mentioned, column blocks. And that's a first.
All right.
We've never done. I don't think my mother also has done this column print. The first time she's also hearing this. We had that blog, in
Right.
fact. So, and Sarah told
Ah.
me, Maria, don't give me these very dull colors. Give me these bright colors for, she wanted for her tambulam gifting, I guess. So
Right.
that was very interesting, Shweta, because every new item or every new innovation is something which
Yes.
we really love. As from the for as creative entrepreneurs, we love to do something new every day. So that got in,
Yes.
and I just did some few pieces. We loved it. We fell in love with those pieces. I'm like, Sarah, thank you so much, Sarah, for this column idea. And I did for my mom, and we did for immediate friends, all this. So uh, column, actually,
Wow.
it's a very cultural thing, right, to South India.
Mm-hmm.
So to
Right.
Chennai and Tamil Nadu and things like that. So it was well received, beautiful colors. So see, there you go, Shweta. So I'm saying it's a big ecosystem when we start off. There's a big system, there's a big pack
Right.
behind. So
Yes.
that's how it was. So
Yes.
I'm
I mean,
consciously, deliberately trying to bring myself to a stop, so that it doesn't go like a digressing thing. Because I can go on and on forever.
that's totally fine. But I mean, that's amazing. I mean, I so resonate when you say that it's the entire ecosystem. It could be your artisans who are putting it out, the fabrics together, or it could be
Yeah,
your external team and your family. I mean, who's always a constant support. I think everything
absolutely.
falls into place, and people helping you out in ways that you wouldn't have imagined. Somebody could have,
Absolutely.
as you said, Sarah, I mean, your friend, she got back to you and asked you, okay, can you do me this? So it gives any entrepreneur, for that fact, I think every day is a new learning, and that's how
Yeah.
we grow as a entrepreneur or a solopreneur. We just want to take it up and figure out, okay, it's a fine, it's a new thing, let me try it out. I think that gives us
Yeah,
that
exactly.
yeah. So it's
Yeah,
just
it's
beautiful
amazing. It's
that
amazing. Sarah was a school friend of mine. Suddenly we reconnected. I loved her products and her products, her palm makes and everything. And I
right.
started talking to it to my friends, and it's a very beautiful system out there. So
Oh,
I should thank
yes.
Sarah also for the support that she has been providing me on this. That's good.
Yes.
Everybody is a small ambassador and angels of
Oh,
ambassador
yes.
in your
Oh,
journey.
yes. Oh, yes. The
Yeah,
authentic relationships, the connections always go a long way. So, yeah, super.
absolutely. And so my artisan too, he gives me his snippets of thoughts. He tells me, don't be choosy on what you want to take and what you do. You're just starting. Take
Right.
everything what comes your way. Be open to new
Right.
ideas, new things, and say, his that was his thought process, and he would give me his little snippets of advice too. So
Super.
that was good in this journey. Yeah,
Yes,
so that was
amazing.
pretty much it.
And you were talking about the blocks. So my next question is, could you tell us, I know there are dyes involved, the color dyes which get onto the
Yeah,
fabric. So could you tell us
absolutely. Yeah.
about the preparation of the dyes, the wooden blocks that we were talking about? So is it like prepared by you, or is it like outsourced from some others? Is it outsourced? So I mean, if you could tell us, like, is it prepared in your own setup, or is it like
Okay.
something that you outsource with respect to the dies and the blocks?
Okay. So, if you were to ask me about dyes, dyes are
Hmm.
colors that you get, it's available in the market. So, you have
Okay.
your basic colors, right? And
Hmm.
and we play around with these colors, mixing, and it takes
Right.
some time. It's not all about red, blue, green, yellow. Those are the primary colors. but you want
Correct.
shades, Shweta. That's the beauty of it, and that's the complex. As much as there's beauty, it's also complex. When
Right.
only when you are in that area, you will know that red has so many hues to it. There is pinkish red, maroonish red, light red. You can go on playing, and that takes time. You will
Right.
sometimes, I will say, I want this shade, I want that shade. So it's all about mixing and playing with colors. It takes time, mixing colors and
Right.
preparing the colors for your motive takes time.
Hmm.
I mean, if it's just a very straightforward red green, it's okay. But when you're trying to craft unique pieces, right? Few of your
Right.
pieces will be unique. So for those unique pieces, you need a kind of different colors, those shades, not
Yes.
colors, I would say shades. And to
Right.
achieve that shade, you need some time. So
Hmm.
that is what I do in my
Yes.
unit, because I would like to see the shades that come up. Because you will have one shade in your
Correct.
mind, the artisan will have another shade. So to
Another
align the
shade.
shades, we need to be together to sync up and see that, yeah, this is the shade that I'm talking about. So that takes time. That's
Right.
See, I'm talking about, it's not like in screen where you just give the color and it goes on with tuck tuck tuck
Yeah.
tuck tuck 10 20 50 20 pieces. This is some few exclusive pieces with getting the right amount of shade. And if you're
Right.
catering to a particular customer, I call immediately, hey, is this the shade? These are the options for your shades. Do you want this? Which
Ah.
one do you want? So
Right.
each print or block or motive is shown on WhatsApp. Then the customer has to come back to us. These are exclusive prints I'm talking about, not the general ones.
Right.
So the
Right.
customer comes back, then that information is relieved to my artisan. He himself, then he gets, once the color and the motive is decided, okay, half your job is done. That part is done, and he can go on doing it. And then the positioning, layout on the fabric.
Correct.
So
Correct.
when you're doing exclusive fabrics, you need a different kind of motives, right? And a different
Hmm.
layout. You can't be
Right.
the same general one. So exclusive ones
Yes.
take a long time. Take roughly a piece
Hmm.
would take 3 4 hours, Shweta. It's one single artisan doing it patiently and very diligently, because you need a steady hand. You need to
Correct.
steady hand to block the
Yes.
print. That is as
Hmm.
far as dyes go. For wooden, for the blocks, Shweta, if you were to ask me, we already
Hmm.
had a set of blocks, the regular
Right.
paisleys, the mangoes, the birds, the trees, and everything, from when
Okay.
my mother had. There were quite a lot of blocks. But now you
Right.
see, the trend is changing. The customer
Hmm.
preferences are changing. The
Right.
today's gen like quirky prints. They like quirky. You see the bicycle, the
Oh
owls.
yes.
You see those. No, those were not there.
Right.
Those were not there during my mom's time, I guess. I haven't seen it though. Maybe it must have been around. So so now you have all these kind of new ones coming up. So for that, I will have to actually get the wood carver to actually make a template and carve it out. It's done on teak wood. So
Ah.
so it that is another. It's all that's also done by hand. That's the beauty. It's all done on a wooden frame, and carved out, and
Right.
made
Hmm.
exclusively or block printed. So having said that,
Right.
I would like to actually also mention, there was this customer who told me recently. This was some months back. She said she wanted a butterfly mask for a baptism giveaway. So we didn't have butterflies in our hand, so we
Right.
carved out a butterfly mask specially for her to give to be imprinted on masks. So that was very pretty. That was
Right.
also very exciting. I mean, though it is all time consuming. So she had her timeline
Right.
of when the baptism would be. We had to give. There's a whole lot of planning at the background. So the wood blocker is another person sitting somewhere else. So he will
Yes.
have to create the template. I'll have to okay the template, and it can be single color, double color, all those things. So the quickest way we can create that butterfly, we it was good. We have to make the mask, and we actually let it was really beautiful. It was something very novel, giving away hand block printed mask, a butterfly mask for girls, or a sweet girls baptism. So that was, and
Wow.
it was very much with the COVID context, so masks are a
Right.
big thing, right?
I
That was
know.
one.
Yes.
Mask has become a very fashionable accessory now, Shweta.
True.
So I would
True.
always say your masks are a immediate conversation starter. Everybody, the
True.
like how your
True.
clothes are, mask has become ingrained into your wardrobe.
Right.
So recently, I would say another one which we are launching in a few days
Ah,
now is,
okay.
I'm just it's just about coming up. This was another customer from Chennai who happened to see our Instagram page, and she reached out to me
Oh.
saying she wanted to do, let me say, she wanted to do, she's into little boys clothes. So she
Ah,
reached out to me
okay.
saying she wanted for Janmashtami, which is coming around. She wanted to
Okay.
do these little symbolic Krishnas playing the flute. So we
Mm,
again carved out a wood block, because this was she got something very, very cute and creative, a cow playing the flute. So that we
right.
will be launching in a day or two, or perhaps in the next. She would be launching it soon, and that we
Yes.
got it motived and done, and she's making tailoring kurtas out of those fabrics.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was another innovative piece, Shweta.
Yes.
So this is everything is, every new learning is very invigorating for an entrepreneur. That's
True.
that's what I
True.
was coming to say. So that's about the blogs, Shweta. It's carved out,
Super.
and it's carved out by another person, by another wood blocker. So
Right.
you need to be in sync with your artisans. So each one has to,
Correct.
it has to go in sync. So
Yes.
that there is a lot of planning to it. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much. Hope I've answered that question of yours.
Oh yes, oh yes. I mean, it's such an intricate and a lovely process because to get the dyes, the shades right. I mean, as you mentioned, each color has variety of shades, and also to get that print. I mean, the print pertaining to the blocks that you're using, you need to be clear and all of that. I mean, such a lovely process. I mean, thank you for sharing it with
Absolutely.
us. About it.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's as complex, as intensive, and it is mind-boggling, mind-breaking, because even in the night you're thinking what shade to put. You're looking at different. Your inspiration. You will look at a pigeon and say those who are that color of the pigeon looks very
Right.
nice. You can use it
Correct.
as a next motive for your next fabric.
Yes.
The pigeon has shades of gray and the legs which are pink. So your mind is
Correct.
always on that kind of color
True.
scheming and layout and things like that. So that's how it is,
Wow.
Shweta.
Super, super.
I
And
know
you
it's
also
absolutely.
mentioned, I mean, yeah, you're putting it on Instagram. So could you tell us as to
Mm.
what are the types of products that you're offering currently on your Instagram page? And yeah, what is, I mean, so do if anyone wants a customized request, like someone who wanted a butterfly mask, so how do they reach out to you? If you could tell us about it.
Okay. Yeah. So Shweta, just coming to, I'll have to give you a background to that, to the
Yes.
products per
Yes.
se. So, we started during COVID. We started a small production, or a production in a very small way during the COVID, right? When we were all
Right.
cooped up in our homes. So I cannot, at that point in time, I could not go big on, say, a fabric like a, say, kurta, because then my customers would have to run to a tailor and get it stitched. Now that's going to be a
Yes.
challenge now at the present
Right.
times. So
Right.
what goes well now? Everybody is sitting at home and lounging away. So they
I
want
know.
comfort. Comfort is the key word when you're at home or when you're working. There are students, the
Right.
young generation of today are working from home, and comfort is a big factor for all of us, right? At least for most of us. Nobody is going for any function, or you don't have this
Right.
elaborate functions which are happening. So that's when we
Right.
hit on our first product, the loungewear. The loungewear pants, and
Yes.
the fabrics could be tailored as loungewear. And
Right.
of course, I was lucky. The stars were aligned when I had a good tailor who could stitch the loungewear. I mean, pants are easy to stitch, just comfort pants, right?
Right.
You just have your
Correct.
elastic, your side pockets, and your pants are
Yeah.
ready. And it's so pants were loungewear pants was our first product for, and it hit off very well with the present generation, with the young generation, because that was received very well. Of course, I couldn't drag in any models, being everybody was cooped up, nobody was stepping out. Again, I used my children as who were reluctant models. I had to use them as,
Right.
if you see on my
Wow.
Instagram page, they were the models. I had to tell them, you just model. Okay, they were reluctant, of course, but they did an amazing job. Thanks to them,
Wow.
their friends all kicked in. So they wanted it. So even my
Super.
son was actually into it. So for now there is no the gender lines are, you don't have gender lines, right? So these loungewear pants were both for boys and girls, for men and
Girls. Yeah.
women. And so
Yeah.
that was a big hit. It still is a big hit. Loungewear pants is still on the comfort
Right.
lines, and it still runs. And of course, our masks. The second product is our
Yes.
mask, block printed
Right.
mask, which is going on in full swing. People loved the idea of mask. So this was in October, Shweta. I told you, right,
Right.
last year,
Right.
2020 October, we
Correct.
started in a small way with loungewear, and then
Yes.
this was going on to December. So December is a time when in the it's Christmas, right? And there are
Yeah.
family get-togethers during Christmas, small families getting together in one home. And that's when customers started coming and saying,
Right.
let's keep red Christmas themed masks. You need to have a
Christmas Eve.
safe and fun get-togethers. So it was, you could see that on my page where we had Christmas theme masks,
Yes.
safe masks, which was then
Right.
shipped to Bangalore and and other places where family get together. So nobody wanted to stay at home but they wanted to have fun but safe, in a safe way. So masks were the next
Right.
bit. We had Christmas checks, plates, red, blue, green, gold, silver, whatnot. There were a variety of hand block printed masks.
Wow.
So mask was another product. Then came your kurta, then came your fabrics. So what I did was, I
Yeah.
didn't retain it to just fabrics for kurta. So I gave this idea of block printed kurtas can be made into any leg wear, tapered
Right.
pants. You don't need to now. Now the best part of today's times is,
Yes.
anything goes, everything goes, because you can be a trendsetter now. I'm very
Right.
glad the nowadays people are just innovating on different looks, different styles. I can give you a 2.5 meter fabric. You can use it as a kaftan. You can use it as
Right.
a top. You can use it as an off-shoulder kaftan,
Right.
because every day customer trends are changing, customer
True.
preferences are changing. They want to try new stuff every day. So
Oh,
you
yes.
need to actually tailor make and give them new capsules. So that's how, that is one. So our block printed fabric can be is actually inclusive and flexible to suit your needs.
Right.
You can tailor them anyway. But loungewear and mask, we give them ready wear, and shorts too. The
Wow.
young generation of today, or anybody for that matter, because
Right.
you want comfort, right? So shorts, these block printed shorts look very super cool, super chic, and super cool. I'm talking about my own product, Shweta. See, I told you,
Of
right? I can
course.
go a little overboard.
Of course, we want to know what your product is about. So, yes, it's your day.
Yeah. So, oh, thank you. Yeah, I know. So, I'm talking about my baby. So, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yes. So shorts is one. Then, of course,
Uh-huh.
we've got also table linen, Shweta. We've
Hmm.
got table
Okay.
linen. We do actually do for elegant table linens. That also in a small way is also there. So you have your loungewear, your mask, your fabric, which can go into
Right.
any forms where your kaftans, or you can tailor them anyway. Then we've got,
Right.
as I said, table linens. So
Super.
as of now, so block print is not something where you can stop with just one. You can diversify in so many ways. You can use it into your home decor, your curtains, your cushion covers, your
Right.
saris. I also did a sari for Women's Day. So
Hmm.
that was a red
Okay.
one with polka with dots, polka
Ah,
dots.
all right.
So for Women's Day, it got sold on that very day itself. So
Hmm.
that was a very saris also we do. So there's nothing stopping block printing from getting into any categories of products. So
Right.
that's what I'm coming to say. Yeah, I think I pretty much covered all our products. So people come back to us, say we want kitchen curtains, and we want this one cushion covers and things like that. So home decor
Right.
will be my area to diversify, like
Hmm.
into sofa covers and things like that. So that is where I'm
Right.
also looking at diversifying, because people come asking for table, I mean, home decor stuff,
Right.
lampshades, and you can
Yeah.
actually block print on any natural fabric.
Correct.
So we only
Correct.
deal with just having said that, we only deal with natural fabric, Shweta.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
either silk, cotton, linen, and
Hmm.
on those lines. Yeah, so
Super.
that is
So
pretty
many,
much it.
yes, so many products to still come by. So those are the future plans.
Of course, yes.
All right.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, so
Super.
that's how
And
it is.
so people can find your products on Maria Abraham Prince, correct? On
Ah,
Instagram.
okay. I was just coming to that. Yeah, they
Yes.
can actually come back. The products are displayed on my Instagram page and on my Facebook page. They can
Right.
what I do is I would recommend that they get in. They can message me on Instagram page, and then I take their WhatsApp number or whatever their number,
Right.
which I can WhatsApp products individually to them, and have a
Right.
conversation with my customers. I would like to have that journey in a product where I can have that little conversation with the customer, understand what their preferences is. So more than
Right.
what is seen on the page, we can tailor make them to they suit their taste, their colors, understand, and we can suggest things. Hey, not we have just not this, we can also give you this bit also for you. So that kind of
Right.
interaction happens only on WhatsApp, not more on Instagram. So I prefer having this conversation with them. So
Right.
that's a good journey with each customer. So because recommendation can be given, more choices can be given. So
Super.
that's how,
Yeah.
Shweta. So more than what is available on that page.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
so
Yeah.
customer may not know this can also be done, this could also be incorporated, and things like that. So that is where we kick in and tell them that you know uh, do this bit of tweaking there, it look very nice, and that kind of
Right.
recommendations. So that's it. So yeah.
Amazing.
uh,
Right.
yeah.
So so if people want to check out your products, and if you want to request for a customized product, then please reach out to Maria Abraham Prince on Instagram. And yeah,
Yeah,
so you can have your hand
absolutely.
block printed materials and fabrics out there. Super.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's wonderful to have this. Each journey with a customer is, understanding a customer preference more,
Right.
and that is what we want, right? What they want, and if it doesn't come
Absolutely.
out well, we will say, look, we will do another piece for you. So,
Right.
you don't have not now necessary. You have to take this piece. If what we have doesn't suit your preference, we can make another one for you with your color, what you want. So all they
Right.
need to do is uh, just give me the shade. And once again, Shweta, the shade of color is,
Right.
I'll tell them, what I tell my customers is, You can go to this, you can take your fell pens, your sketch pens or whatever,
Right.
or these embroidery threads or fabrics, and
Mm-hmm.
show me that color which you want, that shade. So
Correct.
that way we can come closer to the shade that they are looking at.
Hmm.
So that's
Amazing.
pretty much it. Yeah, they can reach out to my WhatsApp number and we can have a good conversation and take it up from there.
Oh yes, absolutely. And I'm sure more people will be happy to come and check out your page. So Maria,
Absolutely.
I mean, how do you feel being a, a sidepreneur, like, juggling a job and a venture,
Mhm.
which is so like intricate and so much of process and everything. So how does it feel? I mean, to do both.
Good question, Shweta. That's a wonderful question. well, juggling. That's my favorite word, juggling.
Right.
So that looks like these jugglers, in the circus that you
Yeah.
see. Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, juggling is my favorite word, Shweta. So being a person who likes variety and diversity. I mean, variety and
Right.
diversity is the spice of my life. So I
Yes.
like
Yes.
having variety of activities incorporated into my task. So if you
Super.
see, as a corporate life, whatever functions I do in the corporate world,
Mm,
and then what do during the weekdays and weekends when I do my catch up on my block printing, that's another part.
right.
Then I'm also a homemaker, Shweta. So there will be a little bit of home ends also to meet. You will have to make something,
Right.
some. I mean, something fancy. As much as I desire something fancy or something exotic, like a cake or a cookie or
Right.
something. So, or a regular cooking, like your, making, churning out or preparing meals for your family. So, you have three
Correct.
broad functions in my life. Each function actually fends off a positive energy to, or feeds off a positive energy, or
Yeah.
transmits a positive energy to the other activity. So since I told you,
Yes.
right, coming back to variety and diversity
True.
being a part of my life, I mean, that keeps me on my toes, and it
Right.
keeps me active and brings vigor into each of these activities that I like doing it. And
Correct.
yes, it can get exhaustive. I am not
Yeah.
saying that it is easy.
Yes.
um,
Yes.
so it can get very tiring, but then you take you wind down, you find your time. It's all about finding your balance.
Right.
You wind down, and then by Monday you're back on track. So there will be this meltdowns and winding downs. It's just that you need to
True.
find that balance, and
Yes.
uh, you know pick up steam on, or pick up momentum by the starting of the week, Monday. So Monday to
Right.
Friday, you're busy with your corporate work. Saturday, Sunday, you pick up.
Yeah.
I always say I pick up the next bag. And the colors, and
So,
then the colors
yeah.
sometimes comes. All this can be actually inspiring. All the three can be inspiring
Right.
in each of these areas. So
Correct.
you're looking for, like I said, entrepreneurs are always looking for new ideas, right? New
Yes.
ideas that can fuel them. So, or you can, if you open your eyes and ears really, minutely, or into every detail, everything can be seen as inspiration to catch up on the next.
True.
So I
True.
would say is, juggling is my favorite word.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, so glad that
Yeah,
you are occupied like Monday to Friday and Saturday, Sunday. And I don't think there is a work day, there is a weekend. I think it's all days. You just
absolutely.
go about
All
whatever is
these.
needed to be done. Yeah, you do it. Just that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Now, because you are working from home, all these lines are blurred. So you're
Yes.
actually getting into all these lines. In fact,
Correct.
you're not straight jacketing. Okay, this is what I'll do today, and so all these lines are
Correct.
getting blurred. Anyway, homemaking, all days happen. It's not
Correct.
just 2 days or 3 days. Everything happens. Your kitchen stuff and everything, your home
Yes.
maintenance, your home areas will have to go on like clockwork. Nothing can come to a
Correct.
halt, right?
Yes.
So that's pretty much it, Shweta. So
Super.
it's
Super.
interesting. It's a very very interesting. To take on all three roles, all three activities, and juggle and see how you can sync up. So it keeps me
Oh, yes.
energizing. I mean, each one energizes the other. So
Oh, yes.
that's pretty much it.
Super, super. I mean, that's amazing and
Right.
brilliant. So my next question is, what do you think
Yeah.
about the status of the printing techniques in India? I mean,
Hmm.
are they being revived? Because I'm not sure how the market was like, like probably it had a slump, and now everything is like back to organic, and people want getting back to all the Indian, the techniques, the printing techniques, be it be weaving or embroidery or and block printing as we're talking today. So, what do you think? Are they being revived at this point in time? What is your take on that?
Absolutely. Textile industry, if you were to ask me, I think
Hmm.
it's the second largest, or I'm one of the largest employers in
Yes.
India. And you have so many
Right.
art. It's not something which came up very recently. It's been there for very
Right.
long time. In fact, it's part of our rich India's rich traditional heritage, and it is
Correct.
very appreciated globally. And even
Hmm.
your fashion houses are using our Indian artisans very extensively. Now,
Correct.
if you were to ask me how much of importance it's given, I think more importance could be given to this industry.
Yeah.
And people
True.
like us are, or people like you and me, are ambassadors to this beautiful heritage. I mean, this
Yes.
is the heritage,
Yes.
or this is the wealth that India has, and we are little
Yes.
ambassadors to, or little voices for these artisans. We need
True.
to carry their voice through their tales of weaving, or to their
Hmm.
tales of hand block printing. I will
Yes.
always say it like each thread that is hand loomed, hand woven, each stitch that is embroidered, each block that is
Yes.
printed is a story of each artisan. So
Yes.
people like you and me have to carry this legacy forward. We need to be proud of
Right.
our rich heritage.
Yes.
You should be proud of your treasures at home, and
Right.
sport it, and spread it globally. So each one needs to be
Right.
ambassadors, global ambassadors of the textile crafts that we have. You have your ikat, you have your pochampali, you have your jamdani, you
Right.
have all these beautiful fabrics. I'm saying each one is a story of its own. I mean, so
Yes.
that we need to carry forward, or market or spread. So the stakeholders of who are relevant to the textile industry have to make a conscious
Right.
effort in reviving this industry to or taking it to greater heights of glory. So if you
Correct.
see your handloom fabrics, which are now, which are just facing out in a small way, we should revive it, because power loom is just taking over. That's
Oh,
when
yeah.
we this
Right.
Onam this Onam, we actually decided to go to the weavers to get the handloom fabrics themselves, because they are becoming an endangered category themselves, the handloom weavers.
True.
So we thought we'll go source the fabrics straight, fresh out of the handlooms, and then
Yes.
block print them. Because this COVID, when we had in Kerala the floods, and
Yes.
now the pandemic, all this has put this
Right.
industry to a slump. So we have to actually revive that, and spread
Yes.
it more to our spread it more and market it more to our to people that we know. We are all little brand ambassadors for the
Yes.
textile industry.
Yes.
And yeah, and we did this hand weaver this Onam. We actually went out to the weavers, and we got sourced our fabrics for Onam printing from the Kerala handloom weavers themselves. And
Wow.
I went there personally, got it from the loom itself. And that was a
Right.
beautiful, it was a very enriching journey to get the you're helping, or you want to do some bit for your bit for the weavers, because it's a
True.
beautiful craft, and they're painstakingly weaving the loom
Yeah.
for us,
Right.
weaving the handloom fabrics for us. And I can tell you, Shweta, it's such an amazing and beautiful fabric. I was so happy that I this was my first visit there, and to
Right.
do this handloom, hand block printed, and tell my friends, hey, I've got something beautiful for you. Come and pick it up this Onam. I mean, though it's not
Right.
in all its festive, festive time as normally it should be. Just
Right.
crafted a few fabrics, yes, and that is
Right.
how. We can all do our bit for these artisans is what my take is. And for the
Amazing.
printing techniques, if you were to say,
Mm-hmm.
there are quite a few. So if you were to ask me, during the COVID time when we started,
Right.
Shweta,
Yeah.
you know, one of the limitations that I had, I mean, as an entrepreneur, is I cannot, if it was during the other times that I had started, or
Right.
BC, I always say before COVID,
Before
I
COVID.
could have I could have just hopped onto a train or a bus or a flight,
Yes.
and traveled to different parts of India. I mean, that was beautiful to pick up all the weaves from where each state is
Right.
is you know is known
Yes.
for, and come back and improvise or do block prints on them. But
True.
being now that we are all contained in our homes, and we have our limitations
Right.
of traveling. So
Yes.
what I had was, what I had with me in hand was lots of plenty of reams of cotton white fabric, cotton
Hmm.
plain white. So now what you see I'm wearing is
Right.
this kind of plain
Yeah.
white fabric. I had plenty. So, and
Wow.
they're cool, comfortable fabrics, very good for our tropical weather. It's not because I'm weaving or block printing on these fabrics. I'm not advocating, but really, I always say that this is, it's very good for our weather. So we
Right.
had this plenty of white fabrics. And
Mm-hmm.
what can you do on white? How much can you do these motifs, right? People will say these are all, it gets very similar. Each one
Right.
fabric will be similar. So how can we incorporate more color onto this fabric?
Hmm.
That's when so here there is a saying, right? When life throws lemons at you, make
Make
a
lemonade.
lime juice or a lemon juice or a
Yeah.
vodka or whatever, uh, whatever suits you. So you need
Yes.
to make some juice out of those lemons.
Right.
So my artisan and I sat down together, and we thought how best to incorporate color onto the white, rather than rather than keep printing just motifs on it. So
Right.
that's when hit upon this Geth printing, Geth technology, or Geth printing, where
Ah,
we
okay.
weave in more colors,
Uh-huh.
where we weave in more and make it different colors. Okay,
Right.
we on this white plain fabric, rather than putting motifs, we use the
Mm.
Geth printing, where we got full colors. This white fabric is fully transformed into probably your red florals, your green florals, your your 3 4 colors. I do have pieces
Right.
of that, if you're
Right.
interested to see, or
Ah,
which completely transform the fabrics.
wow.
So you can hear me.
Yes, yes, I can.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So that's how we started. And those were good for shorts, for your loungewear. So it's not just plain white. People who like colors, who want a little vibrant colors. So we converted this white fabric into colors. Of course, they were time consuming. For one
Mm.
fabric, if we were to put motifs like this, it would just take a couple of hours.
Right.
If you want to change it into GED, it takes 3 4 hours for
Ah,
just one fabric. So it takes
whoa.
half a day. It takes half a
Right.
day, but we decided it comes with a cost, of course, because there's more labor involved in it. There's more
Right.
artisans. One person alone cannot be doing this. There could be 2 or 3 artisans working on one 2.5 meters of fabric.
Oh my.
So that comes with a cost. That comes with
Right.
a cost. And then those are the techniques that we use. I mean, one of the techniques, I mean, I would say, to.
Super.
to just to ward off this limitation that we had.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So that's it,
Yeah.
Shweta.
Yeah, I
That's
mean
about it then.
it's brilliant that yes, we need to support and we need to be ambassadors and take the I mean the techniques, the Indian techniques, the traditional. It could be the weaving techniques or the printing techniques. I think it's we just need to give it a push. I think it's time. The time has come, and we need to take it forward. And considering the pandemic, of course, there's a whole lot of
Yeah.
I mean, ventures coming up. I mean,
Absolutely.
and people are
Absolutely.
interested. Like, you know what? I'm done with the IT job or the 9 to 5 job. I just need to, figure out something worthwhile to do. I mean, I know, like, of course, the security is an issue and everything that you need to have such and such an amount of money. Of course, that's a need. Of course, it's a necessity. But I think now there is a shift in the way people are thinking because, of course, the pandemic has
Uh,
taught people that
yeah.
we're not going to
Yeah.
live forever. We need
Yeah.
to make the best of the resources at hand and do what is like that gives the best to people.
Absolutely, absolutely. This
Yes.
is so we saw, with this pandemic, what has happened is we've saw a lot of young entrepreneurs, a lot of young chefs, bakers, so many creative sides coming, and it's
Right.
so good to see that. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, that's the beauty of this. On one
Yeah.
side, you see all these people coming in and all these small entrepreneurs mushrooming and budding everywhere, and technology, I would say, has aided to it, Shweta.
Oh
Technology
yes.
made
Oh
it
yes.
so, the
True.
reach has been more now with social media is catching up, and we could display our products sitting in
Right.
our own homes. So as soon as I finish your podcast, I'm actually jumping on to a video sales call where I would be
Oh wow.
displaying my wares. So you don't have to step out. I mean, you don't have to.
Right.
You can just show it from the comfort of your house. And
Absolutely.
WhatsApp and all these things have made our lives much better and cooler, I would say. Uh,
Absolutely.
each time you're thinking about how to create products, then you have to think about your page layout and how to carry that. Your phones are there. Everything is on your phone
Right.
at the tip of your phone. So you want
Yes.
to take click pictures. So life has got a little more easy as well as busy also, I would say, because you need to keep clicking pictures. So that's the
True.
beauty of it, and it actually instantly goes reaches the customer.
Oh yes.
So that's the beauty of it.
Oh
So
yes.
one of the
Absolutely.
one of the positive byproducts of COVID.
Oh yes, oh yes, and I'm sure
Yeah,
we. I think it's a norm out now. I mean, it's going to stay like this. I think for. I mean, of course. I mean, I think it's just a part and parcel of the times that we're in
yeah,
now.
yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You really, yeah. You have to live with it.
Yes.
So we got you covered. You can just wear our masks.
Amazing. Ah, the selling point out there. All right, super. Okay. I mean, yes, we are talking about the pandemic, and you also mentioned, like, how did you go by with your venture during the pandemic as well? We also spoke about that.
Yeah.
My question is, in the pandemic, I mean, there was a lockdown, and like the intermittent lockdowns in between, or the partial lockdown as well. So my question here is, how did you manage, sending across the orders, to people? So how did you
Ah.
manage that? Yeah.
My, that is a beautiful question. I just love that question. So, yeah, when we just got an order for, it was a large scale order for loungewear.
Mm-hmm.
There was we were taking measurements. We were actually sending in measurements to and fro. It was quite a mid-size order for loungewear, shorts and
Right.
pants. So
Right.
that's when this triple lockdown hit Trivandrum, wherein
Mm.
it was a very intense lockdown,
Right.
and we couldn't venture out. So this whole consignment got stopped, locked.
Ah.
Even
Yeah.
mask or the orders for masks, that also got blocked. So
Right.
then slow. It was understandable. The whole of I mean the whole I mean all most of the states that you saw the metros all going into the lockdown during the second phase. This I'm talking about the second
Correct.
phase of COVID. So it
Yes.
was understandable that now
Mm-hmm.
nothing will move and nothing will function now.
Right.
Soon that period also got locked, but in Trivandrum, my tailors could work only for 3 times a week.
Ah,
So, there was this challenge of we could only stagger our loungewear. We couldn't do
right.
it all to this bulk couldn't be finished at one go. So,
Yes.
I had to actually prioritize the loungewear first. People who have been asking for masks, they were actually texting me, Maria, where are our masks? I'm sure you would have seen that on my page. I posted
Right.
that on my, where are the
I did.
masks?
I did. I did.
Where
I
are
did
the
see
masks? So
that.
I had to,
Yeah.
I had to really, say, I know, but this loungewear, this is one big consignment. Let me just ship this across, and then I will start my loungewear. Yeah, we did have this, and I do have I do have very understanding and patient customers, Shweta, just like you.
Oh, sweet.
I know. I mean, it's very nice. Everybody is so understanding in this journey, and you
Right.
feel good about it. No, you
Oh,
feel
yes.
it's yeah, you feel like the stars are aligned. So that's pretty much it.
Super.
Yeah,
Amazing. All
yeah,
right.
dear.
So during this time, well-being is also of the utmost importance for all of us. So I
Yeah.
want to know, what is your well-being routine like? What do you indulge in apart from the job and also the venture that you have? What else do you do, to just unwind?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So many hobbies to keep me energized and give me that well-being nourishment. One is on the health side, yes. Before starting any of this, before getting back to my work, before starting my hand block printing venture,
Mm-hmm.
all of this, I was very regular with my yoga discipline, Shweta. So I
Right.
was very, very regular. I had a very good mentor called by the name Tara, and
Mm-hmm.
I it was in Trandrum, and of course
Mm-hmm.
she was also very disciplined, very passionate about yoga, and I
Right.
was also, I'm actually very enthusiastic as far as yoga is concerned. I was very rigorous in my discipline there.
Right.
Now, coming back to the present, I wish I could get back to yoga routine as much as I want to. I mean, I'm not
Right.
as regular as I used to, but whenever I get a chance, I will be on the yoga mat. And yes, of
Yeah.
course. So yes, and of course, that is what yoga is. One of the things that helped me be grounded. I mean, it gave me
Mm.
the sense of calm. It gave me a sense of empowerment to handle any challenging situations that come across in any entrepreneur's life, right? You do
Right.
get small challenges or small kicks or punches here and there, but it's yoga which helps you be grounded there. So yoga helps, certainly helps. Second thing I would say is my love for gardening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And not in a very mega way, once again in a small way. So reconnecting to the plants, to that helps me. That also rejuvenates me, gives me the well-being and the mental nourishment or the sense of
Right.
calm that I need. So being with plants definitely also helps. Being with all the little plants, tending to the plants or watering them, that gives me the adequate energy for for tackling everything.
Right.
So you need to find your own hobbies that keeps you grounded, that keeps you going, I would say.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, and having conversation with friends and all of that contribute to your well-being,
Oh,
right?
yes.
To talk to people like you, and to youngsters. IT industry is it's primarily young generation.
Right.
So
Right.
it keeps you at it. So that's pretty much.
Amazing. So glad that you are into so many things, and that's so good. And it's always
Yeah,
nice to learn lot many things and enjoy that process, because even if we are doing one thing, there could be other, it could be just an hobby, but we might learn something, a skill out there that you can use it for your venture or your business, your job. right? Yeah.
Absolutely, every day there is an immense learning. If you look at it, every day there is something to learn from somewhere, somebody, or a stranger, or your artisans, or your helps in the kitchen. Everybody has something new
Right.
to tell you. So it's just that we need to keep your eyes and ears open. You need to be
Yes.
open to new experiences. Allow new experiences to flow through your life. I think that's
Correct.
that's pretty much it.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Lovely. So we come to the last section, which I call as the pruner spotlight section. So
Wow,
I'm
what's
going
that?
to, so I'm going to ask you five questions, and
Okay.
you could answer to me in a word or two or a couple of sentences. And
Okay.
so do we get started?
Oh, shoot.
Okay, all right.
Yay.
Okay, my first question to you is
Yes.
what is your ikigai? So ikigai is nothing but the reason for your being. So what is that one thing that you would do on any given day, no matter what is happening around the world? What is that one thing?
I will go back to sleep.
Wow. Amazing. Super. Yeah, of course, on
No,
any
no,
given day
no.
you will.
On any given on any given day, yeah, I would maybe so either I would actually be doing the same things, think up
Yes.
some colors. This is
Correct.
pretty much me. I mean,
Yes.
either plants, colors, or cakes or cookies or whatever. These
Ah.
pretty much, it'll be pretty much on this. If none of the four, I'm in the mood for none of these four, I would go to sleep.
Super, super.
Or a good cup of coffee.
Oh,
That
wow.
uh,
I know,
that that will.
as simple as that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. My second question is
Yeah.
any person who has inspired you or any book which has inspired you. You can talk of any, or if you want, you can talk about both as well.
Yeah, so not one, Shweta. That's a very tough question. For a person like me, it's anything, anything and everything. There is something inspirational in every human being.
Yes.
So it's not just one. I cannot contain to one person. So
Right.
anybody new, starting something new inspires. Any other entrepreneur who's starting something new inspires.
Right.
Something out, you look into the nature inspires. So
Hmm.
anything, your family, your mom, your friends, anybody can inspire you.
Oh,
So
yes.
I'm not looking at just one person to inspire. It's actually a collection of people and nature which inspires. So every day is a day of inspiration for me. I'm actually in the hunt or looking for inspiration, so I will
Right.
definitely find one. So
Right.
yeah, it's
Super.
it's it's actually a collection of people and friends and family. So everything in the ecosystem
Super.
which inspires. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. So I have an interesting question for you. Hypothetically, if you turn out to be the richest person in the world tomorrow, what would
Mhm.
you do? What would you like to do? Or would you continue to do what you're already doing?
Yeah, I would continue to do what I'm doing in a much larger scale. That is what I would do. Yeah,
Oh,
I would continue to do what I'm doing in a much larger scale, diversify to a much larger canvas.
right.
Yeah, pretty much. Nothing much changes. Only the scale might change.
Super. Well said. Well said. All right. Any particular art or craft, like we were talking about the textile crafts, right, the techniques per se, apart from hand block printing, do you want to try out any other technique? Do you have anything on your mind that you would want, hey, you know what, I want to try out this particular form of art, or the way it's done, anything on your mind?
It is connected to fabrics
Yes,
or.
yes, yes.
Yeah, I would like to explore other weaves, other from other states.
Wow.
I would like
Okay.
to the other waves from. That's what I said. No, if not
Yes.
for this COVID, I would have been traveling and seeing. I would have made a visit to Calcutta, to Rajasthan, to Jaipur,
Right.
to see, actually, to explore more.
Yes.
Definitely, definitely, for sure. That's on the cards.
Super.
Would have explored more on the weaves part and incorporate all that. Look
Yes.
out avenues on how I could incorporate that into my block printing venture. Definitely, for sure, Shweta.
Super.
That's the plan.
Super.
And
I
embroidery,
Yeah.
embroidery too, and hand embroidered. Anything to do with hand, any
Right.
art to do with hand.
Right.
Yes, certainly. Oh, I'm open to it.
Wonderful, wonderful. I hope once the pandemic is through, I think you hope we'll be able to do it. So,
uh,
yes.
yeah, I'm just waiting to just set out and explore the market. Yeah,
That's
that's the
wonderful.
thing. I mean, even other countries too, Shweta, not just
Yes.
India. I just don't
Right.
want to restrict it to India. Actually take the textiles out on a global market too. That's also in, a very looking of far ahead.
Right.
That's how I'm looking at it. So on a much larger scale, I wish, and I would say amen to it.
Yes, absolutely. Right. Okay. The next question is what
Yeah.
is your definition of success?
uh, what is my definition of success is pretty much much enjoying what you love
Right.
doing with passion and with dedication. I think
Yeah.
that satisfaction, that ikigai that you meant, I think
Yes.
nothing beats it.
Right.
Nothing beats it, Shweta. I
Right.
think if you're dedicated, if you have the inner drive, if you have the passion, that to me is success. And
Yes.
I think I once again will take it back to the universe, will conspire to have it done for you.
Right.
They will align it for you if you have these three ingredients
Right.
in your work. I'm
Right.
sure that that itself will do.
Super.
So that, I think that is pretty much it.
Awesome. Awesome. Amazing. All
That to me is success. The rest will fall in place. Your
yes.
monetary or whatever that will
Right.
come and go, but it will fall in place. It's the
Correct.
rest of the thing. So you're giving back to the community what you're taking back. So that is ultimately that you're
Right.
helping. You're holding another one's hand, and that's like how I was given a chance. I would be able to lift another person into this ecosystem.
Right.
So
Super.
that's
Well said. Amazing. And lastly, I want to ask you, what is one key takeaway that you want to give the audience? The audience being here, those who want to start on a venture, and or those who are just started something but they want to scale it up, take it to the next level. So, what would you like to tell them? It could be any learnings or any insights or any tips that you would want to share with them.
Okay, Shweta, I'm still learning. I have not reached anywhere. I'm looking for some gyan from outside myself. I'm pretty early or very nascent in this industry now.
Right.
So I'm not sure if I'm equipped to give that answer. But
You are considering the fact that you've started a venture and you're going with it since the past 5 years. And I
yeah,
know we all have the thing that okay, we need to do a lot more. But I
yeah.
think whatever the journey that you've been on, anything, it could be
Yeah.
some learnings
So
out there. Yes.
yeah. So having said that, I always my recommendation would always be, Shweta. So to have if you want to do something, it's because you have a seed of passion in you. So keep at it. Keep at
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Keep the focus. Do the background work. Keep your eyes and ears open to whatever people are telling you. Whatever,
Right.
you don't need to take every little advices that flow your way. Ultimately you are the one who's driving it.
Yes.
So keep at it with passion and focus. And I told you, right, the divine forces will align it for you. You
Yeah.
will see, it all unfurling right in front of you. I mean,
Right.
take the flow of things. You will have setbacks. You will have little detours from your planned routes, but then
Yes.
just keep at it. with the same dedication, devotion,
Right.
and it will fall in place. I'm sure that is the key takeaway for me. That's the key takeaway which I would like to give for anybody who's venturing on to a business line.
Amazing.
That's so
Thank
it's
you.
it's slowly but surely.
Oh yes, oh yes, absolutely. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So Maria, how can anyone reach out to you?
At my, I have my contact number listed 94474673444.
Perfect.
Ping me on that.
All right, perfect. And they can also check out your page on Instagram, which
Of
is
course.
Maria Abraham Prince. Perfect.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely, they can do that, and I'm sure that's how people just get connected to me, and
Yes.
we have a good conversation, and we take it up from there. It's that relationship with the customers that keeps it going, you know.
Absolutely.
That pretty much I enjoy that journey till the product reaches their hand. That journey is
Yes.
from the start till the when the product hits their hand. It's a beautiful journey.
I know. That's
I've
amazing.
made friends for lifetime, customer turn friends.
True, true, true. Oh, yes. Lovely. And I'll be sure to leave the links in the episode description, in this episode description. And Maria, thank you so much. And it's been such an amazing and a delightful conversation with you. And
I know.
I got to learn about hand block printing and the techniques, and of course your entire team putting so many things together, and how you have survived the pandemic and you're going great, in
Oh
leaps
my,
and bounds. And again, I'm so honored to have you on my show. Thanks for this. Thank you for being a
yeah, the
part.
pleasure is all mine, Shweta. It was really, and I'm also, appreciating and admiring the capability that you are bringing to the table. I'm also learning, and
Thank
see, you are inspiring. Today, Saturday morning, you put the energy, you put the momentum into my
Oh,
Saturday. So,
sweet.
it was invigorating, it was refreshing, and we had a great conversation.
Again, thank you so much.
Thank
I just enjoyed my day today. Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure is all mine. Thank you, Shweta. Thank you. That was wonderful.
Th-
Thank you so much.
Thank
So,
you.